What is going on, everyone? How are you all doing? This is Yacalo here at Magna Crypto, back again for another video. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at something very important when it comes to mapping out the trajectory of certain cryptocurrencies, and that is crypto ratio pairs. So we're going to be looking at some very key ratios for some of the big coins. So stick around, let's get the show on the road. Cue the intro. First of all, just a quick comment on what's going on with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has smashed through some very important levels that I've mapped out, and in particular the 4950k level. So it was in between these two levels, as mentioned before. We've got this support at 45, and then we had the next support level at 48, 49, which became resistance, as you can see around here. It made a false breakout, went back below, and then tapped it once again. But this week it has smashed through that with great intensity, which is what we want to see. This is a good indication that probably we're going to see it extend into the upper 50s, 57, 58, and then we'll see how it reacts. It might reject and then go back towards 50, 49 and claim that as support before building on. But this is looking quite good.
Really?
These two candles, this reversal is looking like the lows of September. It looks like the end of the correction before moving on now. So October it's looking to be a strong month so far. But of course, let's not get too excited. Ethereum as well, of course, it is following in the footsteps. Nice reversal, identical candles with Bitcoin. And it's basically opened up the road towards 3900. There's nothing else in the way, so there's a good chance that it's gonna hit 3900. So we'll leave that at that. Now, what I want to talk about mainly in this video is the crypto ratios. So what crypto ratios are, essentially comparing the, for example, an ADA, a Cardano and BTC pair, and compare that with an ETH BTC, ETH being the leader in the altcoin market. So essentially what normally happens is when you see one pairing, let's say we're comparing ADA to ETH pairing, when ADA tends to go up, it tends to be ETH that goes down. So when you see, for example, we're looking this area here, when you see that the chart is heading downwards and it's going towards a very important support level, we can surmise that there's a good chance if it bounces from this level, ADA is going to have a good run. If it starts to essentially gain market share on Ethereum, it's going to have a good run, and you can bet on ADA to continue appreciating in value. Now, these numbers are arbitrary, they don't really mean anything, but what you can see is, for example, these key levels. So what you can say is, for example, here, as this is rising, ADA is probably increasing in value in dollar terms. But as we get closer to this level, there's a good chance that this resistance will probably push ADA down. It will start to lose market share against Ethereum. And thus, if you wanted to sell, that would be a good time to sell. So you can tell a lot about essentially who's next, who's going to be next. Is ADA going to have another run? Is it looking like there's a good chance it's going to start taking some market share? Is it at a low point compared to Ethereum? So these crypto pairings are very, very important. They really can tell you. My light just went off. Should have charged that before the video, but anyway, we must continue. They can tell you a lot about when a coin is going to start making a run. So as I said, looking at this chart, you can tell from this area, anywhere on this, if it touches there, there's a good chance that it's probably going to reverse and go on a run. Now, looking at Cardano, it just had massive peaks. So it's created some resistance right here. So now it's probably going to wait until it reaches some kind of support level and then starts to turn around. For example, this area, there's probably a good chance we want to wait until it hits this support area and then for it to start turning around.
Uh-huh.
So essentially Cardano's time is kind of past for the moment.
You dare say that to me?
Now let's move on to Ocean Protocol. Now Ocean Protocol, you can see it had massive run at this point, so it's taken a lot of market share from Ethereum. This would have been a good time to bet on Ocean Protocol. Now it's actually at a very low point in comparison to Ethereum. So now it's actually a decent time to bet on Ocean Protocol. Now, we can't get too excited, but this is clearly a key level and it's holding this support area. So it's not guaranteed, but you can see from this point, it did go on quite a good run. So there's a good chance if you were to bet on a coin at a low, now would be a good time to invest in the Ocean Protocol. Moving on to Polkadot. So similarly with Polkadot, it's done pretty well in the last few weeks since late July. Is it due for another run though? Now, if it starts to dip, right, and then head back towards this area, there's a good chance it's going to use it as support to carry on to the upside. Another thing is, if it breaks past this area over here, this resistance, then again, there's a good chance it's going to continue its run and may potentially go back to new all-time highs. So Polkadot as well is just getting started with its run. It's nowhere near its highs.
Really?
So these are indicators to suggest there's still time for Polkadot to continue on. Let's have a look at another big cryptocurrency, Cosmos. Cosmos had a massive run, as you can see here, was taking a lot of market share in comparison to Ethereum. Now it's at a very interesting level. So at these levels, it's kind of at resistance. You can see here, it hit this level and went spiraling down to some lows. So potentially it's reached the top of its level and it's going to start heading down. However, if it holds this support, which currently is below, then again, the case is building for the time of Cosmos to be at its end, and it's probably going to start spiraling down towards the lows and then build up once again. So Cosmos is looking a bit negative. Let's have a look at one of the decentralized exchanges, Sushi. Now, Sushi and Uniswap had some crazy runs early or late 2020. As you can see here, massive upside. Now it's been just red since early March all the way up until now. Potentially it could go even all the way down to this level before it starts turning around. The major support area was here, which is it's now below, and the next support area is here. So it could carry on to the downside before it starts turning around, but it isn't showing any sign of reversal just yet. However, it is quite far from its top, so there's a good chance of getting close to the bottom. Lastly, let's have a look at MATIC before having a look at AGIX, and then we'll close for the day. So MATIC, you can see it made a massive high very recently, and it's just breaking it down. Now, if it breaks this descending trend line, there's a chance that I can break to the upside. However, this massive run, you know, your bet is more likely that's going to keep going down, potentially tap this level and then turn around, or it's going to break this and make some crazy lows. But this is important level. You can see peak here, you can see a tap here, and you can see another little high here. So it'll be interesting to see how it reacts when it gets to this low, but there's a good chance it's probably going to keep going down, at least tap this level before we see some kind of reversal. Okay. Now we can see DOT doing well, Cosmos is doing well, Cardano is making a little reversal, but as we saw from the crypto ratio, it's probably more likely to continue going to the downside. Let's have a quick look at, as I said, AGIX. So this is how you actually write the pairing. If you want to have a look, you would pair it with Bitcoin, so AGIX BTC, and then you would compare the Ethereum pairing, and then it will ask you kind of what markets, what exchanges you want to use, and the ones with more data is the ones that you want to be using. So for ETH/BTC, Bitstamp has the most data, and with AGIX, Binance has the most data. Now, because AGIX was only converted not too long ago, there's not too much data. But what we can see from AGIX is it's had two massive runs, and it's still correcting. But what we can see is this is a very important level right here. So if we see it tap this support level, there's a good chance we can see a third peak.
It's over 9,000!
Now, it's not guaranteed, it could break below, but what we've seen in the past, this level is very key, and every time it's touched that, it's bounced and made a massive run. So we could expect this going forward if we see it tap that level again. So be watchful of that level, and potentially expect a big run if it hits that level again. So we're going to keep it fairly short here. It's a midweek video, so not too much, not too long. Hopefully you got some value from that. Very important in terms of timing, if a crypto is going to go on a massive rally, or is it at the end of a rally, as you saw with some of these coins. So I hope you got some value from that. See you in the next video. Peace.